Hi, and welcome to the deleted scenes from Coco. We've been working on this movie for 6 years, and as you can imagine, we've gone through a lot of different permutations of the story. So we thought it would be fun to show you some of the scenes that didn't make it into the finished film.
It's a little bit of airing our dirty laundry in that these are ideas that were really fun, that helped guide us to what the movie ultimately became, but all of them have something that we decided, for better or for worse, needed to change.
So keep in mind, these are all storyboard sequences, and they all have temporary voices. These aren't the real actors that ended up in the film. It's just folks here at Pixar doing the voices. And since we always knew that we wanted an entirely Latino cast and we wanted Mexican accents in the film, we asked our voice talent to kind of put on accents, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not so good. But
sometimes they tilt into Italian.
Yeah, so please don't judge. We were just doing our best to start to find the beginnings of the flavor of what the movie could feel like.
Enjoy. This next scene is the old opening of the film. This was in for a very long time, a number of years.
Many screenings, yeah.
Before we changed it. And what it is it's a little musical number to introduce you to the world of Coco.
The song was written by Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez, who of course wrote all the songs for Frozen and wrote Remember Me for us. But they originally had contributed a number of songs to Coco. The song was there to kind of teach the audience about the rules of Dia de los Muertos in a really entertaining way. Unfortunately, we found that the information was kind of going in one ear and out the other for the audience. It was fun to watch, but they weren't retaining what we were hoping they would get out of it.
One of the other reasons was it was taking a while to meet Miguel, and sometimes you have to clear out stuff you love to make room for a better story.
Yeah.
But you will notice that when Ernesto de la Cruz sings Remember Me, that moment from this scene has stayed in the film.
Enjoy.
Good time, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Ernesto de la Cruz.
Remember me. Oh, I have to say goodbye. Remember me. Don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms again, remember me. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be. Until you're in my arms again, remember me.
This scene is a really, really interesting one for a lot of reasons. It's a remnant of when Coco was going to be a full-on breakout into song musical.
And a version where Miguel wasn't hiding the fact that he wanted to be a musician, but leaning very much into the idea that the family really wanted Miguel to carry on their traditions. It was difficult to create a story where Miguel's family didn't love music, but they were all breaking out into song about being Rivera's.
Sing a song about how music's not allowed.
Exactly.
A bit of a head scratcher.
A little bit.
We learned a lot doing this. I mean, we tried our all to figure out how to have Coco be an interesting out-of-the-box musical. But I think it was after this screening that we started to realize that the film was trying to be something different than what we were making. But this is a fun opportunity to see the whole family break out into song.
Look what your son put on me, ofrenda.
Boys will be boys, Mama.
He will not be a boy forever. He has to learn.
Hola, abuelita. Hola, Nana Coco. Papa, I need to talk to you. It's important.
What is it?
I need to borrow your workbench.
What for?
Well, I was thinking, how do I get people to come to my shows? And then it hit me. Go where the people are. And where's everyone going to be tonight? The cemetery. So all I have to do is put your workbench on top of 2 graves and it'll be like a stage.
On Dia de los Muertos, it's the one night a year our ancestors come to visit us. Do you really think we should be off somewhere putting on a little show?
No, of course not, abuelita. It's going to be a big show.
Niño, niño. I am sure you have ideas of how you want today to go. But I am here to tell. No. Oh. You will do what we have done. It's the way of the Rivera. No, like this, niños. Mira, la Rivera likes a straight path. Use the ruler, like I showed you. We choose family over fun. It's the way of the Rivera. Too much sauce, chiquita. Ana Imelda likes them dry. In the bosom of your family, you'll find comfort and contentment. And surrounded by Riveras, you'll conform without grief. 10 dozen tamales, you're halfway there. Rivera, we do what we do because it is the truth to the beautiful life that we got. Rivera. the twins, Oscar and Felipe. Felipe and Oscar. Whatever doesn't matter, they may shoot. They may shoot. Any shoot.
We love shoes.
They'll be here tonight. With us in our hearts in this room, filling all the empty spaces. Nina, she made shoes. Rafa, she made shoes. Paco, he was different.
He was? What did he do?
He made shoelaces. And we have to Mama Nelda, the proudest Rivera of all. She was left by her husband, a man did not speak up, abandoned, no money, alone with a child. Did she give up and die? No, she held her head high and stood tall. For the sake of Coco and the family, she took her last vessel and she made a first pair of shoes.
She made shoes.
She made shoes.
What about the man we don't speak of?
We do not speak of that man.
But you brought him up.
Marco, you will do as we have done. That is how you stay connected.
You'll choose
Family over fun. Always do what is expected. Everything you need to know. Our dearly never shown us. Plus you also get the footwear, which is a bonus. Rivera. We do what we do because it is the grudge of a beautiful life that we got. Rivera. Delicioso. Rivera and Taylor together forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and whether we like it or not.
Thank you, Abuelita. That was very educational. Now can I borrow your workbench?
In this scene, we wanted to find a fun way to introduce Hector, and we also want to establish the rules behind the Land of the Dead. So we ended up having him be a celebrity tour guide.
Kind of like a guy who would drive around and show tourists the stars' homes.
Yeah, and he held the promise of maybe getting Miguel to Ernesto de la Cruz.
Miguel has Ernesto de la Cruz's guitar, you'll notice. And that was because in this version, when Miguel stole the guitar, he actually had it in the Land of the Dead with him.
And you'll also see a familiar face. This was the very first time we had Chicharron in the reels.
Another interesting thing about what you'll see is it's not Anthony Gonzalez doing the voice of Miguel yet. It's actually a kid named Emilio Fuentes, who we worked with early on. But he grew up and his voice changed, and so we couldn't work with him anymore. But he did end up doing a line in the finished film.
Tracy, senor, you're on in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's actually Emilio at age 17.